Welcome everyone, Nicholas here, and I wanted to give you guys just a follow-up update in terms of what's been going on with the work searches for EDD. I know there's been some changes kind of at the last minute by EDD with regards to how they've changed the FED-ED program, but I also think that there's a lot of you guys out there that are confused by this potential news that they've given that they're going to be mailing out when you need to start your work searches. So with all that confusion aside, I want you guys to continue to watch this video very closely, right? Because as I go through each type of claim and those required work search activities, I'm also going to be explaining exactly how you're going to stay out of a pending situation and keep your payments coming, okay? This isn't very complicated, but at the same time, there's a lot of information. So depending on what type of claim you have, you need to probably write some notes down and just be prepared for how you guys are going to be certifying going forward with your EDD claims. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at regular UI or PEUC claims. And this is coming directly from EDD's own website. I'm going to read through exactly what they're stating here, okay? So let's take a look. So they state here that you need to do one work search requirement per week if you have a regular UI or a PEUC claim. That means that out of the looks like right here, there's about 16 different things you can be doing every single week. You just need to be doing one of these per week. Now, I recommend that you do more, all right, because I want you guys to be prepared to have a position, hopefully, after these federal benefits are now scheduled to end. I think it's the week of September 4th. But nonetheless, let's take a look at what these are. So these include, and these are EDD sanctioned, right? You can prepare for your job search by setting up an account and uploading your resume on Cal Jobs. You can participate in unemployment services offered by America's Job Center of California. You can create a profile on various job search websites. So this includes LinkedIn, this includes Indeed, this includes Monster. Any of these will count. You can register with your union hiring or placement facility and meeting all union requirements related to job placement. You can watch videos on job search topics like writing cover letters and interview skills. All right, additionally, you can expand your network. You can let friends know and prior employers or community members know that you are looking for work. You can connect with people on job networking websites and search for jobs. Guys, this means anything, right? You can be on Reddit, you can be on LinkedIn, you can send emails out on Indeed, you can send emails out on LinkedIn. These will all count. You can participate in networking events related to suitable work. They also state that you can apply for suitable work. And this is what's really common for a lot of people, right? Is you can apply for positions with employers who may reasonably be expected to have openings. You can apply or take exams for openings in civil service positions, or you can respond to want ads or job openings that are out on any, job posting website that's out there, whether that's Cal Jobs, Indeed, Monster, so on and so forth. All right, I'm going to stop there and not get into the work search exemptions, okay? Because I really think that the work search exemptions are a total trap. I understand that you guys may be qualified to do work search exemptions, but I think that no matter what ends up happening, if you answer no on your claim certification with EDD that you are not looking for work, even if it's a valid reason, I believe very strongly that you will get yourself into a pending situation. The computer system will flag you. You will most likely need to have an EDD agent schedule an interview, and that's going to take a long time. And that long time means you're going to be in pending and you're not going to be able to be paid. So what I suggest you guys do is this: even if you have an exemption for any type of claim, I highly suggest that you select yes, that you are looking for work, and you complete one of these approximately 14 items, one of these per week. There's 14 possible things you can be doing here, and you only need to do one of these per week. It's pretty easy, guys. Whether that's apply for a job once a week, set an account on Cal Jobs, that's an option too. Registering with your union hiring or placement facility. I mean, these are all options that you guys have. Don't select no. Don't fall into the trap that you think you have a work exemption, because if you guys get there and they put you on pending, just don't complain when I told you so, okay? All right, let's move on to the next thing, which is PUA. So the PUA work search activities are different than regular UI or PEUC. However, it's interesting that PUA claimants can actually do both. They have their own set of PUA work search activities, but what's really cool about PUA, they can do everything that regular UI or PEUC work search claimants can do. And what that basically means is that if you are a PUA claimant and for whatever reason, maybe you don't think your business is going to come back, maybe you don't want to do your business anymore, maybe you just like the work search requirements for regular UI or PEUC because maybe you think they're easier, which I think they are in terms of documenting, right? What I think you ought to consider doing is taking a look at these regular UI and PEUC work searches that I just covered here and consider how maybe those ones might be a little bit easier for you to do in terms of documenting one per week versus the actual PUA work searches. Now I'm going to get into those. Those are directly coming up from EDD's website. I want you to make sure you're aware of that. And I wholly encourage you guys to get your, self-employment businesses back up and running. If you're a gig worker, great, fantastic, get that up and going too. But I'm just simply saying, you guys have the best of both worlds. You can do PUA work search activities, which involves getting your business up and going, or you can do regular UI, which involves, applying for work, looking for how to brush up an interview, being, building out a better resume, so on and so forth, right? So you guys can choose which one you want to go with, which is kind of fun. But let's take a look specifically at the PUA work search requirements from EDD right now. All right. The Pandemic Unemployment Assistance was created to support those who did not qualify for regular claims, such as a self-employed or small business owner. Work search activities that are sanctioned by EDD include rebuilding your business. This includes efforts to get new or additional clients, includes marketing your business, reviewing current contracts, or researching, preparing, or submitting a bid on a new contract. You can expand your network by attending networking events, participating in relevant workshops, including efforts to expand your business beyond services typically performed. So, what would that look like, right? Maybe if you're a gig worker and you drive for Uber, what they mean by that in terms of expanding your business beyond typical services performed is maybe you start doing potentially food delivery for Uber Eats. Still the same company, different type of business, different type of service, right? You can go deliver for DoorDash. There's a lot of different options that you guys have here, okay? So keep that in mind. You can also participate in training. This includes enrolling in training or education courses that will help your business and doesn't interfere with your ability to return to self-employment full time. You can establish an account. If you're an independent contractor who is available for work and performed work for an online platform, you can establish an account on another online platform to search for suitable work. Okay, guys, so what they mean by this is really simple. Like, let's say you have a platform as a self-employed gig worker up on Upwork. You can go apply on Fiverr. Maybe you're a digital, artist. Maybe you do photography. You can apply on different websites that offer the same services. Those types of work search activities will count. Now, one thing that's really important here, and this is directly from EDD, they state here, if you no longer want to continue self-employment or were previously employed but not eligible for regular unemployment benefits, participate in work search activities for people receiving regular unemployment benefits to meet eligibility requirements. All right, guys, so just like I said, all right, if you want to, you can do the PUA work searches, all right, including building your business back, marketing your business, potentially applying on different platforms, depending on what type of gig work you are or how you offer your self-employed services. Those are all options to you, but you also have all of the regular UI work search activities, right? Which includes like potentially applying for regular work, brushing up your interview, cleaning up your resume, going to networking events, telling friends and family that you're actively looking for jobs, applying to jobs, and it's much easier potentially to document and record. All right, so guys, that's regular UI, PEUC, and now we've covered PUA. Now I'm going to really quickly talk about what you do need to do between these two programs, which are the same. All right. Now look, they are not stating that CalJobs, EDD specifically, is not stating that CalJobs is a requirement for regular UI, PEUC, or PUA claims if your claim started before July 11th. Okay. But here's the catch. I highly recommend that you guys all register with CalJobs because, again, what they've done is they put in their little computer system a little flag that says, okay, if this person doesn't have a CalJobs account on or after July 11th, we're going to flag them because they must have that. Well, it's not too far believed, right, or too far-fetched to believe that potentially their computer system could find a glitch with that and find that your claim, that even though it was filed way before July 11th, doesn't have Cal Jobs, and you don't have your resume uploaded, and you don't have that portal, completely done, that they flag your account erroneously. And this isn't your fault, right? But they flag it and it puts you into a pending status, and then you have to call, and you know how that goes, right? So this is why I recommend, guys, any of you that have an EDD unemployment claim, no matter what type, I recommend you register and get your profile set up on Cal Jobs for that reason. It's a way of protecting yourself, okay, from not going into that pending status and having payments stop. All right. The next thing that I want to make sure you guys are aware is for the three types we just talked about, regular UI, PEUC, and PUA, you guys do not have to submit work search documentation uploads. Okay. You do not have to. You must do one activity per week, but you must keep a record of that yourself. That does not mean you need to upload it and show it to EDD. You must keep a record of that yourself in case they ever ask for you to do, a work search audit. Now, it's highly doubtful that that will occur, but I highly recommend that you guys, again, keep records of all these work searches that you guys are doing on a weekly basis. Just take a screenshot of it somewhere, keep it in a little notebook on your computer, however you want to do that. Write it down. Just make sure you've got it organized, right? So in case there's ever an issue coming up between now and in the future, you've got that work search history there and you don't have to worry about it, right? So you need to do one of those per week, and you need to keep your own records. All right, guys, those are the primary aspects that you need to be keeping in mind for PUA, regular UI, and PEUC claims. Okay, guys, so now let's take a look at what FED-ED requires. They have now changed this as of about 2.5 weeks ago, all right? And what this clearly states is that FED-ED must do 3, not 1, 3 work searches per week, okay? And very specifically, FED-ED must document their work search activities, all right? You will be, if you have a FED-ED claim, you will be required to upload those documents of that work search on a weekly basis to EDD. And let's go ahead and take a look at what that documentation says from EDD. So we've got that on the spot. Take a look here. So it says most federal, state extended duration extension claimants are expected to look for work to meet eligibility requirements for unemployment benefits. If you are required to look for work, we will mail you a notice explaining your work search requirement. Look for work each week by participating in at least 3 work search activities. If you contact potential employers, you must provide a record of those contacts when you certify for benefits on UI Online using the work search record screen or on the back of your paper continued claim form section B. Important. If you do not look for work as required, you will not be eligible to receive FED-ED benefits for the week you did not look for work, and you cannot be paid again on the FED-ED extension until you both work it in at least 4 separate weeks after the week your disqualification began, and you earn at least 4 times your weekly benefit amount. They also state you are required to keep a separate record of any other work search activities and present the information if we request it. All right. Let's take a look at the work search activities that are eligible for FED-ED claims. You can prepare for your job search, which includes setting up an account and uploading your resume on Cal Jobs. You can participate in employment services. You can participate in employment services offered by America's Job Center of California. You can create a profile on various job search websites. You can register with your union hiring or placement facility, meeting all union requirements related to job placement. You can watch videos on job search topics like writing cover letters and interview skills. You can expand your network by letting friends, prior employers, or community members know you are looking for work. You can connect with people on job networking websites and search for jobs. You can participate in networking events related to suitable work. You can also apply for suitable work, including applying for positions with employers who may reasonably be expected to have openings. You can apply or take exams for openings within civil service positions. You can respond to want ads or job openings as they arrive. You can also participate in permissible training, including taking courses that help you gain employment and don't prevent you from accepting full-time work, such as federal and state-funded training, computer literacy courses, English as a second language, or courses offering certificates of completion. All right, guys, so that's the FED-ED work search requirements. They're almost identical to regular UI and PEUC. All right. They also have the work exemptions that are possibly there for you. But I'm not even going to get into those work exemptions because I think that they're, again, a total trap. Even if you have a work exemption that you find that's valid per EDD, if you click no during your work certifications, you will most likely be put into a pending status and you will not be paid, and you will have to wait weeks until a phone interviewer is able to call you up and verify what's going on. And you may find that it's actually difficult to prove that your work search exemption is actually valid. So guys, don't take the chance. Just don't. All right. So again, we talked about this with FED-ED, right? You're going to have to do 3 work searches per week. If you apply for any jobs, you must actually upload those job contacts and who you applied with during your weekly search activities into your UI online dashboard. All right. You are not required to register for Cal jobs. I highly recommend that you do. The reason being is that will stop you from potentially having a pending issue. And the last thing, again, we talked about is that you must keep records. You have to keep records for a FED-ED claim. This isn't optional. They may very well ask to look at these at a later point in time. So, guys, this is the broad overview. Again, the most up-to-date information that we have on California EDD work search requirements. I hope this information was useful. What I'm going to be doing here coming up over the next coming videos is I'm actually going to be starting to do some very simple work searches that you guys can use yourself. So I'll actually do a work search for PUA, and maybe it's brushing up a cover letter, maybe it's going online and cleaning up a resume. You guys can use that same information that I'm going to, and I'll recommend maybe a few websites, so on and so forth, right? And you'll be able to go there and use that as your work search for your week, for your claim. So hopefully some of those videos will help you guys, keep digital records of all this good stuff so you guys can stay in compliance and keep your claims in good standing and keep those payments coming. All right, guys, I hope this video was helpful. I appreciate you. Please continue to like and subscribe and help me grow the channel. It's been a lot of fun. I look forward to working with you guys soon. Thanks.